Welcome back to FM Storey. We're in the end stages of Season 4 with Sporting. We're in a really good position. We're top of the table with a game in hand on Benfica. We've made it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, although we've been drawn against Real Madrid. We're in the semi-final of the Tacade Portugal against Porto, but they've got a 2-goal advantage from the first leg. And we've got the Allianz Cup final coming up against Benfica. Before we do get started, if you do enjoy the video, please like, comment, subscribe. And without further ado, let's get going. We've made it to the Allianz Cup final against Benfica. And since the end of the last episode, things haven't exactly gone to plan. The league has been fine. The Champions League and the Tacade Portugal, slightly less so. We started with a 4-0 victory at home to Maritimo. Really dominated the game. Not much more can be said about that. I mean, we were 2-0 up after 6 minutes, 3-0 up at half-time. Nice and comfortable victory, which we needed in the league. We were then at home to Famalicão. We won 2-0. Not so great in front of goal. I mean, we only had 3 shots on target in the whole game, and one of those was the 90th minute second goal that we scored. But defensively, we were strong. We didn't give them any chances, and another win that was needed in our quest for the title. We then went away to Paços de Ferreira and again got off to a really good start. We were 3-0 up after 20 minutes, 4-0 up at half time. Ended up winning the game 5-0. Really comfortable, really strong at the back as well. Didn't really let them have too many chances, and another comfortable victory. We then went away to Real Madrid. It was an interesting game. Ismail Assar getting sent off in the 4th minute for a wild lunge near the halfway line wasn't on my list of expectations for the game. Basically what we then did was we dropped Marcos Leonardo back into the left wing and played without a centre forward. We thought we'd taken the lead when Leonardo turned home a Carboni cross, but he just nicked offside. In the end, we did really well at the back to keep them out and keep the tie 0-0 going into the home leg. Between the 2 games against Real Madrid, we were at home to Estoril in the league, and again we ran out comfortable victors, 5-0. We didn't really give them much of a chance. Pretty much everyone had a really good game. Thiago Tomas was slightly disappointing. He's now gone, I think, 8 games without a goal, so that's a bit of a concern. But otherwise, a strong performance and another victory to propel us towards the title. We then hosted Real Madrid and we never got going. They took an early lead. Camavinga's shot came back off the post and somehow Lafont dived the opposite way of the ball and Camavinga was able to tap it home. And then really after that, we didn't really create very many good chances at all. And eventually the game ran away from us. We did try and push everyone forward in the second half, but basically they killed the game off in the second half and just they didn't seem to even attack. So all in all, disappointing given the stage we were at and having the drawing the first leg away with 10 men from 90% of the game, then going into the home leg second. Disappointing to lose, but obviously Real Madrid's team, I mean, you've got Endrick up front, Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr., Camavinga, Valverde, Tchouaméni. It's a pretty strong team. I mean, Leroy Sané can't get in the team. So I think at the start of the season, if you'd said we got to the quarterfinal, we knocked out Barcelona, we got beat by Real Madrid, we'd probably have taken it. But slightly disappointing once we got to that stage. We then went away to Arouca and bounced back. We got a bit lucky with the first one. Carboni drove and tried to cross it and their defender tapped it in. We didn't do an awful lot in the rest of the first half, and then Marcos Leonardo picked up another couple of goals late on just to secure a 3-0 victory. We were strong at the back again and just what we need as far as the league's concerned. And then one of the more disappointing performances, went away to Porto in the second leg of the Tacade Portugal. We lost the first leg 5-2, but bearing in mind that away goals counted in 90 minutes, we needed to score at least 3. So we pushed on, just didn't get enough chances on target. They picked us off on the break a couple of times in the second half, and it ended up an embarrassing scoreline, and we need to be much better, and we need to bounce back for this cup final against Benfica. As far as the league's concerned, though, we're in a really strong position. We've still got a game in hand on Benfica. We're 7 points clear of them. They've only got 3 games left, so they can only get 9 points. So if we win our next game against AC Viseu, that'll see us be champions, and champions for the 3rd year in a row. Be a massive success, especially when you look at. I mean, obviously we have signed a couple of centre halves that we spent a lot of money on, and we spent 12 million on Carboni, but we sold Trincao for 50 odd million in the summer. We sold Inacio for 50 odd million in the summer. We sold Nuno Santos for basically what we signed Carboni for. So we did get rid of some real strong first team players. So to have bounced back the way we have, we've only lost 1 game this season, and that was against Maritimo, I think. Yeah, we lost away to Maritimo, who are 16th in the table, which is a slightly disappointing. We've scored 100 goals as well. Marcus Leonardo's got 31 of those, well out in front. He's been outstanding this season. Hopefully he's got some goals left for this cup final. Okay, so we're going into the final. The only real sort of area of discussion about what we were going to pick ended up being centre half, because we've got 3 of them now. So Nyanzi's back to fitness. Diamande's been struggling because he's basically had to play every game while Nyanzi was out injured. Shqiri's coming for Menino because he was struggling with a knock in the last game. And we're going to stick Leonardo wide left and Thiago Thomas 3 in the middle, and hope Thiago Thomas can score some goals. Hopefully we can. Right, Shqiri, Rice goes back to the keeper. That was a bit tight. Nyanzu into Marita. He gives it away. No. Thank God for Levant. That would have been the stupidest way to concede a goal. Right, Sugo heads clear as far as Fonseca. And he hits the bar. It goes long. But they're coming straight back at us. Sugo to Estevez. Shqiri. Marcus Leonardo down the left hand side. Can you get the ball in the box? Shqiri. The most unlikely of goal scorers from the players we've got on the pitch, but we'll take it. We've not really been at the races so far. Leonardo down the left hand side holds it up a bit to let runners get into the box. The defender and Sugo miss it, and it comes to Shqiri, who has enough time to take a touch, turn, and put it in the bottom corner. If you look at the match stats, it's a pretty even game. We still really haven't got going compared to how we have been playing. We do have a few issues in that Thiago Thomas is struggling for goals. Marcus Leonardo looks knackered. So, yeah, it's not going great at the moment. Right, Carboni cuts inside, looking for Thiago Thomas in the box. Is that a penalty? I mean, it looked like if it's a penalty, it's the flimsiest of penalties. Wow. Oh God, who's the penalty? Ruel steps up and smashes it home. I think that's the 3rd penalty he scored for us this season. Just gave the keeper no chance. 2-0 up. I think it's maybe time for a couple of changes. But in the end, it doesn't matter. We've won the Allianz Cup for the 2nd time in 3 seasons. Hopefully, we'll be able to pick up the league title to go with it shortly. We've obviously already won the Super Taca. So, all in all, 3 trophies. It's been a pretty decent season for us so far. The Tacade Portugal obviously is a bit of a disappointment, but let's get that trophy lifted, lads. There we go. We're starting to dominate the Portuguese league now, I think. We go into the game against Boavista knowing that a win's going to secure the title for us. The game against AC Viseu, we were basically still celebrating. We created loads of chances, just couldn't take any, and it ended up being a 0-0 draw. So hopefully we can go away to Boavista here, pick up the win, secure the title, and then we can basically play the youngsters in the games we've got left. Rewalt to Moreira. Ismail Assad on the left side's giving it away. We are struggling here. Oh, Leonardo gets it back. Drives forward. Azugo wins it. What a finish that is by Morita. Azugo got a header on the edge of the box. Menino's shot was blocked. Comes up on the volley for Morita. Leonardo goes down this left hand side. His cross is deflected. Azugo wins the header. Menino's shot's blocked. Morita reacts fastest on the volley, smashes it past the keeper. They're coming down their right hand side, but Sarr gets back to win the ball. Rewalt to Sarr. Azugo looking for the ball over the top. Marcus Leonardo comes and gets it. Morita's there for a tap in. I think Leonardo might have been offside. Obviously not. Azugo's ball over the top. There's three of them free at the back post. Eventually Leonardo goes for it and just squares it, and Morita just taps it past the keeper from close range. All in all, exactly what we wanted. We're 2-0 up. Skipper's got both goals. We've almost got both hands on the trophy now. We just need to make sure we don't do anything stupid in the second half. See the game out, win the game, win the title. Estevez with a cross. That's got to be a free kick. There's no way that was inside the box. It is inside the box. So is Morita going to step up to take the penalty to secure his hat-trick? He does. 14th goal of the season for the skipper. It's his hat-trick on the day. Just buries it past the keeper. Sugo to Carboni. Ismail Assar. Menino goes from distance, nearly catches the keeper out. And we win a corner. There we are, champions. Quite why we're getting presented with a trophy in someone else's ground is an interesting one. I'm surprised there's that many of their fans stayed around to see this. So there we go, another trophy lifted. 3 trophies this season, the Super Tacade, the Allianz Cup and the League. And we continue on. It's time for the end of season review. After the game against Boavista, we won our last 2 games at home against Gil Vicente, and then we hammered Vitória Guimarães on the last day of the season 5-0, with Marcus Leonardo picking up another 4. In terms of transfers in, so Dragowski was only ever going to come in as a backup. He played well when he was called upon. Valentin Carboni was a one that wasn't in the plans, but once we saw he was interested and available in the August transfer window, we snapped him up. And once he got himself into the team, sort of January time, he was outstanding. I mean, he's played 47 games in total. He's got 17 goals, 11 assists. Most of the time he's played from the right hand side. In January, so in the summer we'd signed Tanguy Nianzou because we'd sold Goncalo Inacio. He played well. Only trouble we had was a couple of relatively long-term injuries, so he only played 30 games in total. Because of his injury troubles and because of the money we got in from selling Manswerk in January, we went and signed Anthony Rewalt, who played well and turned out to be an expert penalty taker, as I think 3 of his 4 goals were penalties. And then the other signing this season was Filip Krastev, who we signed on a free transfer, experienced international for Bulgaria. And we'd signed a few players the previous summer for the midfield that didn't really work out. Krastev, when he played, was pretty decent. Some key goals, some key assists as well. And basically, I think you would say all of the signings this season were a success. In terms of the transfers, there was a lot of players went out. A lot of players, experienced players as well. Dumbia went to Montpellier. Ruben Vinagre went out. Manswerk was the one that ideally we wouldn't have lost him. But when Newcastle agreed to 60 million and we knew we probably needed another centre-half, it was probably too good a deal to turn down. Probably a good deal for us and a good deal for him. As Gaio left, Nuno Santos left, Coates, probably we would have held on to if he didn't want to go, but he wanted to go, he didn't want to stay, so he left. Trincao was outstanding for us in the last 2 seasons. Again, it was too good a deal to turn down, and when you look at what he's done at Liverpool since they spent 53 million on him, it was an outstanding deal for us. We did well to get that money in. Carboni's come in and has been outstanding as well for a fraction of that price. So yeah, that was a good one for us. Inacio, every transfer window, someone made an offer for him, and he made his mouth go about wanting to be out and not wanting to be here. So again, we took the money, we invested it in Tanguy Nianzou in the summer, and then obviously we signed Rio in January. But none of the, apart from Manswerk and Coates, none of the players that we sold have really gone on to shine in the new environment. As far as the league's concerned, the board were expecting us to win it. We did win it. Marcus Leonardo scored 35 goals in the league this season. Outstanding. Considering I don't think he played 35 games. Well, obviously he didn't play 35 games because we only played 34. I think he only played 30 or 31. 94 goal difference. We only lost 1 game, and it was to Maritimo, who finished in 15th place, which is ridiculous, basically. But we had some big scoring games, and actually, largely, you see sort of the amount of zeros. We had an awfully good defence. We barely conceded any goals, relatively. There was a few games, like the 3-3 draw with Famalicão. There was a 4-2 victory over Vitória Guimarães and an 8-3 victory over Pacos de Ferreira. But we were pretty good this year. Obviously you can see that. We only lost 1 game. We scored over 100 goals. We didn't concede very many. We beat Porto twice in the league, and we beat Benfica twice in the league this season. So we can't really ask for more than that. Good season, third title in a row, outstanding. Champions League, I'm not sure about the expectation because we were always going to be in the Champions League proper. But we made it to the quarterfinal. We were unbeaten up until the second leg of the Real Madrid game. We won 4 and drew 4 out of the league phase matches. Comfortably got past Monaco. Relatively comfortably got past Barcelona. Obviously, that first leg against Real Madrid, we would have probably been in a better position had Ismail Assar not got sent off in the 4th minute. But we just didn't have enough in the second leg to see us through. Tacade Portugal was... we did everything that was asked of us until it came to the semi-final, and then we just did not turn up in either semi-final against Porto. The second leg, obviously, we needed to go for it because we needed to score at least 3 to get through. But we just weren't good enough on the day in the semi-final, and obviously Porto went on to win the trophy, I think. And we've got the Allianz Cup. The group stage matches were basically a walkover. The semi-final was really straightforward. The final, we started very, very slowly. Benfica had a couple of early chances, but ultimately we were able to take our chances and win the trophy. And then the third trophy that we won this season, the Super Tacade, that was a really comfortable victory. At the beginning of August, no one was really match fit, but we still ran out 4-0 victors over Porto. And yeah, I mean, you can't say anything other than that was a successful season. So we're slightly down in sponsorship and broadcast revenue and competition prize money somehow, despite the fact that we won 2 trophies this season. But we did have a spell in the middle of the season where we went away from the 4-3-3 and we went into the 4-2-4. But with the number of games we had in January, it was really a struggle. We were getting caught open too much. So we went back to the 4-3-3 and it's obviously really paid off. I mean, if you look at the goals and assists we've had, like Marcus Leonardo played 55 games, 51 goals, 13 assists. Ismail Assar, 21 goals, 12 assists. Carboni, 17 goals, 11 assists. Marita, 14 goals, 17 assists. And that's not including the likes of Thiago Thomas, who was in double figures as well for goals. So, yeah, hopefully we can continue this next season. So, Lafont kept 30 clean sheets in all competitions. Marcus Leonardo, 51 goals in all competitions, 15 Man of the Match awards. Yeah, everything about this season was a success. And that's the end of another episode and the end of another season. Outstanding season, 3 trophies. It's the end of our 4th season. We've now won the league title 3 years in a row. Hopefully we can continue on with that. I'd like to pick up the Tacade Portugal next year because it's the one domestic trophy we haven't had. And hopefully we can go a step further in Champions League and maybe even make the semi-finals next season. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.